What up, man? It's your boy King Moses live from the porch, man, and I'm feeling very well, man. I'm feeling great, feel motivated, um, blessed, and for once, I am on the porch and able to kind of talk about some stuff and just like I'm in a great mood. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm in a great mood, and I think this is my first time actually doing a reaction to some music. You know what I mean? And a couple people asked me about because like when this album dropped, I mean I love music. Music is therapeutic. It gets me through the day. I got different moods of music and how I play and when I play them. Sometimes like early in the morning, I need to get motivated on the grind. So I got like a real shit playlist where it's just be like, you know, motivational music, like gritty street, uplifting motivational music. Sometimes if I'm driving in the car, it's a nice sunny day. I put on my West Coast shit when I just want to cruise and just be on a West Coast vibe. Like I feel like I'm on uh, um, uh, what Santa Monica Boulevard or one of them long ass streets, or riding down Central because I rode down Central when I was out in LA. Just going down or Figueroa, not to get no tricks or whatever, but again, just riding down Long Street, just seeing the atmosphere, just feeling good, feeling West Coastish if it's nice and sunny. Then I be on my pimp player, Sweet Mike shit or whatever, you know. So I might play some pimping. Sometimes I might play some old school music. So I got different like modes and moods that I want to play my music at and stuff like that. So I wanted to when this dropped or whatever. Obviously I heard a couple of the songs that were gonna come out, like the singles and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I'm really interested to see how this album is and just see what happens. Also get a lot of music with just trap shit, whatever. Like if I'm going to the club, going to the office, you know what I mean, and getting prepped up or whatever. So this is my first time actually like reviewing a whole album because honestly, there hasn't been a lot of great music out where you'll hear, and I got to the point where like whole albums like haven't been great for sure. I've heard people drop stuff where it'd be like, okay, a couple of songs been really, really fire to me or whatever, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna rock with that or whatever. Or like a Drake album. I'm definitely a Drake fan. I'm sorry, everybody, whatever. A Drake album, or even Kendrick's album, the mixtape, whatever you want to call it, GNX, was fire to me. So it was like, yeah, there was like a lot of songs on there that I could really just like, what I mean, just bump regularly, and just it was going to be on my playlist. So when this dropped, I was like, man, I just had to react to this shit. Now, normally on YouTube, whatever, you'll see people going through them live streams or whatever and reacting to each song. I ain't doing all that. I ain't got time for all that or whatever. I'm old and whatever. I ain't got time for that. Y'all can go on the other you know people's stuff or whatever to watch that. Pause in advance, but just go listen to it for yourself at this point, or find somebody else that's listened to it and whatever, and see how you feel. I feel that I'm 40 years old, going to be 41. I've experienced a lot in life. Um, I've been at the bottom of the bottom as far as being in the struggle. You get what I'm saying? And I'm at a place in life now where I'm very comfortable and I'm happy. I don't want to get all the way to the top of the food chain and be a billionaire. I don't care for that or whatever. Um, I'm just happy that I came out of a situation where I was in the red, like way in the red, and now I'm just so happy to just be in the green. Anything else that comes along with that afterwards is a bonus, and I just want to be able to pass information and pass stuff along to my little one, so she's not starting off in the red, and just try to build from there. That's all I can do. So when you get to the point where you've been in the red or at the bottom and the slums and all the stuff, and you pull yourself up out of that, there's a level of celebration or appreciation of life that not too many are going to understand or comprehend. So I want to give you my perspective of this album, just kind of giving you that background of my mindset. And also, when I say like, okay, I've been at the bottom in the slums, like I have not touched their drug to sell. That was never my case. I grew up around it. Um, all my life and up until college, but just growing up around that environment, family members on the drugs, locked up for selling drugs, um, seeing all that, hearing all that, knowing that stuff and seeing that stuff, even though you weren't actually doing it, you're able to pick up on certain things or whatever. And when you hear certain stuff, even if you had, like, you identify it, and it's yeah. Um, so that background. So I'm not one of those. I actually despise drug dealers and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But I'm able to appreciate the music that highlights that life because I think it can be applied to other things. So I'm not gonna hear like a Future song or whatever and great song, love Future, whatever, but I'm not gonna be motivated to do drugs because I'm hearing it. Some people are not mature enough to separate the art from reality, and that goes with movies. But it is what it is. But I'm just telling you from my perspective. Um, just like Drake, for example, love his music. Don't like him as a person. I think that he is a simp and a gypsy and all that stuff or whatever. But he makes great music. Some people can't embrace certain people's music because they may not like them or whatever. And I think there's a line that crosses that or whatever. Just for me, you know, I just identify these entertainers for who they are and what they're doing, and they haven't crossed the line for me. Was like I'm not gonna listen to their music or whatever, just because of their personality. For some, and some is just like, yeah, I'm just saying, it just didn't hold up to the test of time. So it is what it is. So I'm gonna get into the album. So now you kind of get some background or whatever of and also too whatever. A lot of people may not have been brought up in that environment. Um, but they also haven't been able to enjoy life and celebrate and do certain things or go certain places, be around certain people to understand what celebration looks like at a certain level. Um yeah, like if you haven't traveled nowhere, you haven't gone anywhere, like I'm not knocking people for not being able to do it. Everybody's got different circumstances, but I think that certain people are going to appreciate this album if they've been at a certain level, and some people may not grasp it as well as others if they haven't achieved a certain level. I think this album is more reflective of where they were and where they are now, celebrating that in the moment, and just also just looking forward to more success and just elevating and growing, which I appreciate. Um, and also too, a a despisement. I don't know if that's a word. It sounds nice, but a despisement of just fake shit and just fronting and just bullshit just in general. What that looks like to them as bullshit. And I'm all for that type shit. You know what I mean? Like you can't be talking that you out here getting it, you doing this and doing that, but you haven't met a certain criteria or a level of success. Maybe success to you looks like that, but that ain't nothing. And it's not, I don't look down upon people, whatever, but it's like I don't like it when people try to uh put themselves above other people because of what they done. Like you can be successful and be humble. And I think that's what it is. It's calling out the people that are not humble because you're putting down other people because they ain't doing what you doing. And sometimes people gotta put you in your place. that's where I feel that this album's direction is going. So I'm all for it. Um, and then for the younger generation, I guess I'm 40, about to be 41. So I think some of the stuff that is being said in this album and just the direction and the feel of this album may not resonate for um somebody that's 25, because they're not going to get it. They got to really do some research. They really have to be also, or be around people that'll be able to really kind of get them up to speed of what's going on, or what the feels like, or what, like, you really got to do your research. Just kind of like how me in like the 90s or early 2000s would have to go back and embrace the early 80s, late 70s, or anything before my time. The problem was then a lot of stuff, the world wasn't so fast to be like, okay, well, something came out and then our attention spans weren't that short just based off of technology. So there was a lot of old stuff that was, still lingering on or repeating. Nowadays, something can drop in 6 months and then just be out of style, or just not in rotation, or just loses our attention span because there's so much stuff that's going on or just being played out. So it really is going to take a mature type of person to be able to go back, do the research, and absorb some of the stuff, whatever. But for those that have been raised in the 80s and the 90s, they're going to be able to appreciate this, because this is like a retro type of feel for me. Not retro, but like a tip of the hat to the retro feeling. Kind of like how some kids see Jordans. They're not going to see it the way that people that were, like, when they first came out, when they weren't retros, when they were new shoes. We're going to look at it a different way than how kids look at Jordans now. We look at it as more of a nostalgia feeling. They look at it like, oh, it's just a great shoe. Or I've heard of the nostalgia from my uncles or my pops or older people around me, but I'm not going to understand that. Or I could appreciate it, but I still will just never get it. But I can appreciate it for what it is. So, enough rambling or whatever, but I kind of gave you the background of how I felt. And where my mindset was and all that. So now I'm gonna really get into the album. The first two songs that I heard, well, the first three songs, obviously, I heard Chains and Whips when it first came out, in the Paris week or whatever, and I was like, yo, this song is fire. I need to hear this full song or whatever. I've been saying that when it first came out, and I was like, man, I wasn't even expecting no album, right? I wanted to hear the full song. I'll get into that a little bit as well. I'll stay on that. They changed the beat up a little bit. I was a little bit disappointed in that, so I like the original part of it. But I'm okay with the beat switch. I mean, the beat change. Switch up. And Kendrick's verse on there, whatever, because the snippet that everybody heard or whatever didn't have Kendrick's verse on it. Kendrick just left Earth or whatever, just killed it. So, I mean, yeah, love the song. I will definitely have it on repeat or whatever and just be playing it. So, yeah, you got to listen to that. The second song that I heard that was released was the So Be It. Yeah, So Be It. I mean, I just love that beat, and just, it reminds me of, like that Jay-Z, Magna Carta, Holy Grail, couple of songs on there, whatever, just like that sophisticated, artsy type of feel rap or whatever. It's not like the boom bam or boo bap street gritty type shit. It's like just very elegant, but still, I can't even put it into words, but it's got that feel. It's got that Picasso baby, Oceans type beat or whatever. That it's just crazy. And then Pusha T and Mouse just going off on there. I feel, and I'm not the biggest Clipse fan. I've always liked them, like their singles, or them on people's songs for features and stuff like that. Obviously, Pusha T is the most notable out of the group because he's rapped more. He's done more solo projects, things like that. He's more viewed as the lyricist of the group because he has more, like, to me, has more haymakers and just like big punchlines. Malice to me is the better one, in my opinion. He, it's just like he may not have the big haymakers or the big punches, but he just has just more consistency with just like the jabs, the uppercuts, and just like smooth to me, whatever. So to me, I think Malice is better, and I know there's a lot of people that saying that or whatever, but I'll leave it up to everybody else to just kind of say how they say how who's better. But I appreciate both, but Malice be, I mean, and it's shocking to me because it's like he carried this album in my opinion. I get more motivated or like will sing more of his parts or rap more of his parts on this album than Pusha T, to be honest. But so be it. Okay, I'm definitely ready to hear this album after that. Ace Trumpets, it was fire. You feel what I'm saying? That was the third one that I heard that was a single, whatever. I really like that one too, whatever. Like, it's one of my least favorites, but I will definitely play it on a regular. But not as much as like, So Be It when it first came out, and some of the other songs. Um, and before I go into the rest of the album, I'll just give you another background. Like, one of my other favorite albums or eras was like the Wu-Tang era. Not necessarily the the whole group. I mean, obviously I did like the whole group, but when Raekwon dropped Only Built for Cuban Links and Ghostface, who's one of my favorite, like top five. When he dropped his solo albums, especially Supreme Clientele, that was like for me the start of like that sophisticated rap. But obviously in my, I wasn't able to appreciate it, or not even appreciate it, but like it still felt to me like a goal, a futuristic goal. Like I would want to get there. Obviously I couldn't, I hear pieces where they would talk about like the Tommy Hilfiger and, doing all this fly extravagant shit or whatever, right? Obviously I heard bits and pieces of it or whatever, but you couldn't fully comprehend what that was or whatever. Like, it just sounded nice. But if you go back to it now as a person that's 40 years old that's accomplished some stuff and done things and been places, I appreciate it more. But that was the start of it for me, of that type of rap. And then again, when Jay-Z was on his wave, like with the Rock Boys, like that's one of my favorite songs of all time. Just like that live instrumental in the background with just it, it's fire. That kind of set the blueprint of that real sophisticated rap as a man for me. And then again, like the Oceans, the Picasso Baby, like those were really just like, man, this is some different shit. Like, man, I could play this in my mind, like walking through the fucking Bellagio, Aria in Vegas, you know what I mean, feeling good, you know what I mean, or walking through uh when it first hit Miami, whatever, just like on some all white linen shit or whatever. Like it's that type of shit. So again, this whole album just encompasses that type of feeling, and is more relevant now. Is like, man, if I go somewhere, like if I go back to Vegas, like this will be definitely that soundtrack for me. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go through each track list, well, each track on the track list or whatever. So I already talked about the three that I was like, you know what I mean, that I heard. It was like, yeah, like this, it is what it is. So the first song on here is Birds Don't Sing. This one is a really deep song. It was talking about his their mothers and fathers passing or whatever. My father passed. You know what I mean? I don't really reflect on it like that or whatever. I think the closest person to me that I lost that I really reflect on a regular basis is my brother Everett, rest in peace. And it'd be something like I don't like to go back and think about like the, not even the missing them because you're always going to miss them. But it's a real deep. You got to be really in a mood to be like. You got to be in a. You got to be feeling down to like really listen to the song, and this will motivate you to, kind of lift your spirits up. I can't listen to the song on a regular basis. But this is a great song. This is a fire song. But it's just one of those things where it's like I can't listen to this on a regular basis, but I will salute this or whatever, and just like this is a fire album. Some other people are going to be in a mindset where they will listen to the song on a regular basis. But just for me, I can't. This will probably be the only one that I don't play on a regular basis. Like I really have to be in a mood to hear. This is kind of like if you hear Puff Daddy, P Diddy, whatever his name is, I'm Missing You. Like you appreciate the song, it's a classic song or whatever, and I think this will be one of those type of songs where it'll be like that. But I just can't hear that. I can't have that on my playlist on a regular basis. To me, but fire song, John Legend on the hook is definitely fire as well too. Um, we already talked about Chains and Whips, and again, Kendrick's. I mean, he killed that. You could go on here on jeans.com and look at the lyrics. I mean, he went in, so it ain't really much to say about that or whatever. So, do your research on that. Um, the third song is POV with Tyler the Creator. I'm not really a big Tyler the Creator fan. He can rap. I can appreciate that, but I just don't really like his music overall. But he was rapping on here, whatever. I could get with his verse on here. This song is fire, and I like beat switches just in general on songs. Like I love songs where it's like, okay, it starts off with original beat or whatever, and then it switches up in the middle of the song. This yeah, this is definitely one of the top ones. I think a lot of people have been saying that they really really like this song. And it's like one of their favorites. I mean, this beat is really nasty, like both of them. But for me, Malice really killed this. I really like Pusha T. He's definitely on some bullshit. Like he on that shit that I be on, like just calling out motherfuckers on that fake shit or whatever, these gypsy motherfuckers and shit. Like you can kind of see the lyrics or whatever that kind of, he talking to whatever. He started off whatever. He's like, all I see is 60-day stars and 20-year thousandaires. Not enough shopping, whole lot of browsinaires. Yeah, you Zeus Network niggas. You hear me loud and clear. Get these 5,500 hosting niggas out of here, man. I felt that. Like it's just I be having that type of mindset and that attitudes. Like get these motherfuckers out of here, man. You know what I mean? Going to Malice's verse. Yeah, he was. I mean, he was just going in, just jab, 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 jab. Every line, just like jab, jab, uppercut, hook. It was fire. Like, yeah, it was fire, man. Like, that was one of my favorite verses on this album from Malice on that one. So POV was definitely fire. So be it. We already talked about that. Ace Trumpets talked about that as well too. All right, all things considered, this is a deep ass song. This is the type of song where I would just, I gotta get in the car and just be cruising and just like, man, just being thankful for being in the position that I'm at. All things considered, it could be worse, it could be better, but it ain't. And I'm glad for it. I'm glad that it's not worse. It could be better, but all things considered, it ain't worse. And I love it. You feel what I'm saying? This this one was a message for, and I'm not no street dude, even though I grew up in a street environment. I didn't do illegal things with people. But I've heard one of the things is like the I hear the I hear these stories from these people that claim to be real and did this and did that and all this nonsense, whatever. And I just see the contradictions and all that. So it's just like, yeah, man, like if you were one of them people, whatever, I'm not even going to celebrate it, whatever. It's like, all right, I hope that you, I hope that you learned and not push that message out there. Be like me, like, oh yeah, I did all this crime and end up doing 20, 30 years. I got snitched on or whatever, got back out, ain't really got much of nothing or whatever. But I'm still living in the past of what I've done. Or some of these guys that have had these stories of grand juncture or whatever the case may be, come to find out ain't even really like that. They done told on somebody, and you know the technology wasn't what it is now, where you can research that and find that stuff, whatever, and end up being exposed, whatever. So it's just crazy, man. So, and I've seen it, heard a lot of people around, out close to this, like, man, you was out there pumping your chest like you was really like that, and then end up being not good. But let you live in that let you live in that delusion. One of the ones that just really just hit me, Malice verse again on here, man. Just like, yeah, like, oh my gosh. I saw the vision. My homies that didn't die was all in prison. Visions behind the glass, my mirror image. My skin is blemished. Names was mentioned. Explains the sentence. The pain is endless. Identifying the body, it takes forensics. Man, the only sin left to flirt with is vengeance. Made my exit to make my entrance. Revolving door, maybe I can make a difference. This is just reflective shit, whatever. Where it's like, man, even if you haven't been, like, you can take some of those parts of what you've seen or whatever and apply it to what's going on in life. Like, I've seen people in jail, whatever, and, you know, and seeing I could go down that road and just, yeah, like, it resonates with me, man. I've heard of people that got, or known people that then caught bodies or whatever and got told on. I don't know a lot of people that literally did what they were supposed to do, whatever, or did bad, got out before getting caught, and was able to make an entrance into another life where you're able to be legitimate and make a difference, where you don't have to be on that type of stuff, and actually showing the dudes is out here still doing illegal stuff to get right. But I like to hear that type of shit. I don't like to just hear like, oh, I'm selling dope, I'm shooting people up, I'm doing this or whatever, I'm doing this illegal life and just living in it. I like to hear the success and the wisdom. So I like it. A lot of people didn't like the song, and I think a lot of younger people that I seen that was reacting to it didn't like it. And they didn't like the hook. I like Pharrell's hook on here, whatever, just talking what he was talking. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. But for me, it's one of my personal favorites. It's like a deep intro. This is one of the ones I'll put on my real shit playlist. Was like, man, I'm walking to work and just like feeling that, and that beat. It's just, it's simplistic, but just like, it's simple, but it's like, yeah. It make you feel good walking on the street. Just like, yeah, don't forget where you came from or whatever, and enjoy where you're at right now. So that's how I feel. Number 7, Mike Tyson blow to the face. It's fire. It's fire. It's some real rap. Just, it's fire. I can't really go into it anymore, whatever. But it's like the double entendre of the title of the song and just everything that's in it. Fire. That's all I can say. Number 8, EBITDA. This is probably, all right. So when I first heard the album, whatever, I pulled it up on YouTube, and it's just like kind of randomly, just kind of going through all of it or whatever, and just like no particular order, just like whatever jumps out to my mind. This was one of the last songs I heard. I actually didn't hear this song until yesterday, and when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, this quickly became my favorite song on the album. This quickly became my favorite album song. My favorite one was Let God Sort Them Out and Chandeliers, which we'll get into later. Because that was the that was like the first one I heard was like, oh, I'm having this on repeat. I had it on repeat all Friday. And I didn't even really go into the other ones like that or whatever. So it was like a glimpse of some other stuff. Uh, and for those that don't know, you can Google it, but it's like EBITDA stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and admiration. Hopefully I pronounced that right, but yeah, you get it. You really have to be at a certain level to understand what that is. So again, just do your research. Um, and I mean, I just like the back and forth from Malice and Pusha T. Uh, oh man, the one bar that just kind of just hit me. Oh my gosh, like Malice open the sunroof, way to my father. That's a double right there. That's a double entendre, man. But it is. Oh my gosh, like, I could resonate with that because it's fire, man. Grew up playing real life Contra. Never give up. That's the mantra. Yeah. Should DJ the way digging through the crates. If you Some people are not going to get that. If you are 25 years old, or you're not going to understand that. You don't, unless you really really know and you're experienced around like you don't have vinyl. Everything is electronic. You got the laptop you playing on, so you don't know anything about digging through the crates. You probably don't know what a crate is. Probably never even sat on one. Now they have chairs or whatever, but like my age, I know crates were seats, basketball hoops, stuff that people carried their albums in to go to a party, whatever. And so it's little stuff like that, that it's not going to understand or whatever. And it's like, so you really got to do your research. But that little line right there is going to hit for somebody like me. It's like, I remember a crate. Yeah, man. Like it's just one of those ones for me. This is my favorite song. That's my favorite song. Like and it's only like 2 minutes 30 seconds. It's like, yeah, it get right to it. The beat is fire. Hook was on point. Like, this is my favorite song. That's my favorite song. Next song, FICO. Oh, the beat is nasty on that one. Beat is nasty on that one. Beat is nasty. The hook is nasty. I've heard Stove God Cooks. I think he's with Griselda. I've heard some of his shit. He's fire. He's like that. And that, the crazy thing why Griselda's so popular, because it's a nod to the nostalgia of like that 90s rap, New York rap, you know what I mean, where people love that, and it's like it's a retro feel of how it was, but still being able to be current, which I love. But that song is fire. I mean, it's what it is. Number 10, Inglorious Bastards. This is my second favorite song. This is probably my favorite beat. When I heard this on Saturday, I'm jamming to that. I'm like, this is nasty. Just like, oh my gosh. Like, that beat is fire for me. Like, I could just really walk up in the club spot, just like, I'm feeling nice to that or whatever. They probably ain't gonna play it or whatever, but that's one of them ones where they could play that in the club and just like, banger. In my opinion, I know everybody's all into the 808s and all that shit or whatever, but that could be one of them ones where it's like, man, you just like just walking through when you first come in the club, you're walking through feeling good. You know what I mean? Whatever outfit you got on, just like, yeah, motherfuckers see you, they know you, and it's one of those ones where you be up in the spot and people know you, and you walk through, what's up? You know what I mean? It's not even. This is like a backtrack to you walking in the club. And you see people, whatever, you shake your hands, what up, da da da, whoop de whoop, whatever, and go on about it. But you don't even have to rock out to that with it's like that's a walkthrough song for me. It's fire. But you know. Number 11, So Far Ahead. Beat is tough. This is definitely an inspirational song, whatever. Like, again, a lot of people that's playing catch up and just so far behind. And you're at a level where you are so far ahead and you've tried to reach back and try to give people games and gems and jewels, but they not picking it up. But you kind of understand why they can't do it because you are so far ahead and just like, all right, well, you got to keep looking forward. You got to stay 2 steps ahead. This is one of those songs for me. Is like, yeah, this is another one where I'm putting on my regular real shit playlist where I'm playing on a regular basis. Like, and it feels so refreshing because it's like it feels so refreshing to be able to enjoy this type of music and just like anthems and songs that is relevant for now, that you can have that mindset, just reflect and just still be in the current and not feel out of place. So yeah, man, it's fire, man. And then we got Let God Sort Them Out / Chandeliers. This was the one I had on repeat all Friday. This got to be tied for second for me. So it's either tied for second or a very close third. Very close third for me. But it's like I'm gonna be playing that still regularly. But yeah, the beat switch on here is fire. The man, the lyrics, the beat switch to Nas, and I'm not even the biggest Nas fan either. I've grown to love Nas, especially after like later on, probably like I probably got a lot more. I probably don't have a lot. I don't have a lot of Illmatic or all that other stuff where he had in the '90s with her. I could appreciate it. It still might not be my cup of tea, but I got a lot more of Nas shit like after, like, what's the one? Kings Disease. Like I got a lot of the older Nas shit or whatever. Just like, man, this shit's fire. And this was one of the ones was like, yeah, it kind of stayed on that time frame or whatever. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, he's still and you know what it is with Nas. I learned to like a lot more of his older shit because he raps reflective as well too. Where he's not still trying to be the dude that he was in 1998, 97. He not still saying I'm out here still doing this. I'm still selling bricks or whatever. It's like, oh, I've been there, done that. I was around this or whatever. I can, you know, take a trip back to this area, whatever, and still be with the people, whatever, but then go back to this life and live in the moment of where I'm at right now, celebrate success. So that's why I like a lot of the older, like the newer Nas shit now more than like the older shit for me. So yeah, that hit for me. And then 13 by the Grace of God, another fire song or whatever. Like to me, I know people be throwing the word classic out there very loosely, and I know people also be afraid to throw out the word classic because they don't want to get criticized of, oh yeah, you tripping. To me, this is a classic. This is one of those ones that's going to stand the test of time. Like I said, for me, only going to be one skip is the first song, and there are going to be more songs that I'm going to replay on a regular basis more than others. But out of this 13, 12 that I'm keeping on the playlist. And I would say a good out of those 12, oh, man, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could the only one I can maybe say that I probably wouldn't play on a regular basis, maybe Ace Trumpets, but even then, like if it comes on, I'm in the mode, I'm still gonna play it. But maybe Ace Trumpets and that's probably it. I'm definitely gonna be playing number 8, number 10, number 12, number 9, number 7. Yeah. Number 3, yeah. It's a classic to me. Then I could play this at any time. I could play this going to the club, uh, just cruising, just chilling, walking to the metro station to work, leaving work. Yeah, this is one of them ones. And one more, yeah. I think it was on the Inglorious Bastards. Another line that he was just saying, yeah, I remember those days without having cable. Again, I think that again, if you have a certain age group, you're going to remember that. A lot of this, if you're 25 and over, whatever the case may be, whenever cable was just readily available to everybody like that, it's not gonna resonate to you. But that's just one of those ones that's like, man, those one of those other lines is like, yeah, man, come a long way. That's my thoughts. This is my first reaction, and hopefully there's more music that's coming out that I could react to, whatever. Um, I know that a lot of people didn't want to hear this album because they thought it was gonna be like some beef shit or whatever, or like Pusha T was gonna be dissing people, whatever. Like he dissed Sublimed Jim Jones with the the Chains and Whip song, whatever, a while back ago. I love this records. I love subliminal shit as well too, whatever. And I think we've gotten away from that a lot because now everybody's like, say his name, whatever. And that's just been kind of the thing. I do kind of miss the subliminal, I ain't got to say your name, but you know who I'm talking about type shit or whatever to leave the allure. Um, he also sent shots at Travis Scott with the I forget what song it was or whatever. But some people didn't really want to hear it because they thought it was gonna be dissing, da da da. It's not really all that or whatever. It's like, you know, he had the lines, they had to put motherfuckers set motherfuckers straight or whatever. And it's like, I'm on that type of time or whatever. But some people ain't. But I would highly suggest motherfuckers listen to this album at least once to just let it go. And I know I sent a lot of messages to a couple of my people, whatever, that don't even really listen to music like that because of the timing or whatever. You should really listen to this shit. I think you would really miss it. And, you know, you probably not a fan of a lot of the new music out here that's out now, which is why you kind of took a chill on music, or you just listened to, you know, all the old shit we used to listen to, the Ross, the Jeezy, all this shit back in the era when we were out and about. You'll love this one. You'll love this one. That's my thoughts. Oh, and then, yeah, lastly, Travis Scott released album, mixtape, or whatever you want to call it. It's a pause worthy title, Jack Boys 2, pause in advance. But I listened to it. It's fire. It's a different type of fire, where it's like definitely get you ready for the club. You it's one of those ones. This is different. This is more of a 5-star restaurant, elegant, like if you know, you go there type of fire. This one is one of those. Travis Scott one is more of a fire, like a 4 fast food, regular dining shit, where like, man, or soul food restaurant type shit, in my opinion. I'll go into, maybe I might react to that one or whatever, give my thoughts on that too later on down the line. But I just been stuck on the let God sort them out shit or whatever. So, but that's my thoughts, man. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, all that other stuff. It feels good to not be able to be critical of people or just reporting the news or whatever. Sometimes it's good to just be able to report some other type of news or whatever. So I know y'all usually hearing me go in on people relationships and people being gypsy Jezebel bed wenches and trick babies and all this stuff, whatever. But anything that comes on the porch or whatever that I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about. And I think there's a wide range of stuff to talk about. Ain't no different than going to the barbershop, talk about different things that's going on. I'm going to talk about it because there's a lot of stuff that I like or whatever. And I'm not doing this for no viewership or whatever. I'm doing this for the know, not the show. And if you know, you know. And if you know, pass it along to somebody that needs to know. If not, oh well. But it'll get around. It'll get where it needs to get. It will be available for somebody to get at some point. It's your boy King Moses, live from the porch, man. I'm still praying for these kids. And hopefully these kids start to listen to this and maybe do their research and, get somewhere. I'm out.